Hi everyone, this is Diane. I hope this won't be a boring or repetitive journal or video, because I'm going to again follow this journal to decorate in this one, but I did different things in here. I added more stuff in it, and I have some preparation done, so hopefully you'll be seeing new things and it won't be boring. Just before I turned my video camera on, my furnace came on, so hopefully it won't be on very long, but it is chilly here. I have my thermostat set for 63, so that's how cold it is. It got down to 63 and my furnace said, okay, we're gonna warm things up a little bit. So what I've done to prepare is, like I said, I did a little more work in here, and I stamped a bunch of verses that I can use to decorate, and I pulled some clusters. I did not even have to make these. These were already made. This one I made, but I think all the rest, I did that one. All these are made by Carrie, so I'm still using clusters that Carrie made me, and ruffles. You'll see that too. And that's about it. I did, this is a ruffle that Carrie made, and I just cut it into small pieces and put the Bible verse tiles from the vintage Bible bingo game on there, so they're ready to go. And I have these pieces ready to go. Is that 2 stickers? No, it's not. Yeah, I think I have 2 of these already glued into books, but I have 3 more to go. So let's just start getting into the journal. I need a hymn page for that. And I will add some seam binding to that. This is a digital label that I got from one of the Graphic Fairies freebies a long time ago. Most of them I printed bigger than this, and they're too big for these, but I do have this one. I'll have to come up with other labels for the other journals. And for this page, I need one of my offering envelopes. And I have this box of cards. I told you I had some scripture cards upstairs, so I brought this box down. I don't remember where I got this. Somebody gave it to me. So I'm gonna put a card in this pocket. Will it go this way? Yeah, it'll go that way. And I'll just clip this to the page. I added some blue eyelet here and a little bit of ribbon because it was an unfinished edge of eyelet. Oh, I need to stamp on this page. So we are going to do some repetitive things. Let's see. I'm stamping the same things on all the pages so that I don't repeat the stamps throughout the journal. Yep, this is the one, because if I stamped a different verse, and then I might not remember that I stamped it, but if I stamp the same thing on the corresponding pages in each journal. That will help me. And if I stamp the same verse twice, it's okay. I think I have at least 2 different verses that are on 2 styles of stamps. So you might get the same verse, but it might look different. And then I have that verse. Nope, not that. There it is. I have them sitting like this on the table behind me so that I don't put it down and get ink on the table, so it's hard for me to tell what each stamp is. My cousin came to see me last night, and his wife. He was not able to go to my dad's funeral because he and his wife were in Missouri for a wedding. You've seen me do this part before too, so I'm just talking through it. But I will get to something new, I promise. We're going to make a pocket together. So he called and texted and asked if they could stop in because they were in my area. So they came, and they stayed for about an hour and a half, and we did a lot of talking. His mother, my favorite aunt, passed away a few years ago of cancer. And his wife lost both of her parents, and she was very close with them, you know, so they understand what I am going through right now. So it was nice to talk with them. And we didn't just talk about sad stuff. We talked about a lot of things. It was a nice visit. And he said he wants to go see all of my siblings. And I said, why don't we just get a table? He said, that's a good idea. So I mentioned a local restaurant that I think would be great for us to get together at. It's not a chain restaurant, it's a family-owned restaurant. So I think we're going to try to arrange that. Oh dear. Washi to the rescue again. First I'm going to reinforce that. I am doing the best I can, and I feel like I can't really concentrate on things like I should, and I know it's normal. I'm not beating myself up over it, and I don't feel motivated to do a lot, but I'm making myself do stuff like this. And I'm just, just doing what I can. So I just want you to know if I tend to be quiet a lot anyway. I've made a lot of videos where I'm not talking much, and you guys always say it's fine, you don't mind when I get quiet, but I just feel like I might be a little more quiet now than normal. So just, be aware and be patient with me. I appreciate your support more than you know. I also feel like we've always been a pretty close family, but there were years where my sisters and I didn't see much of our brothers. They kind of did their own thing, and we got together as sisters, and we still do, without the boys, because it's girl day. And we would see each other maybe on holidays, but we didn't get together on holidays anymore because our family was so big with all the wives and husbands and kids that joined the family, Nobody had that much space in their house. Like I said, we had 47 people at the fire hall for our dinner after Dad died. But I feel like in the last couple of years, I've gotten closer with my brothers. because we were all chipping in to help Mom and Dad. So we saw more of them. We communicated with them. I started a group chat, or group text on our phones, so we could keep track of who's taking Dad to what appointment and give updates on, what the doctor said about this or that. So we've been in more communication, and we've seen each other more in the last few years. And we want to continue that. So we're going to try as siblings to make sure we get things scheduled for us to do stuff. I even mentioned we should go to Alexandria Bay in the Thousand Islands and spend a night or two on a weekend. Just us siblings and spouses, their spouses. Because we got to go there for a niece's wedding, and we all really enjoyed doing that. And Burdette said, my oldest brother, he said, after we were standing in the parking lot outside of the funeral home after we had just gone to plan the funeral. And Burdette said, somebody's gonna have to get married. Who's getting married again? Or not again. Who's getting married next? Because we need to do something fun. And he mentioned Alexandria Bay wedding, And I said, well, I told you back then that we should just plan a getaway. It doesn't have to be a wedding, just be us. So we need to do that. So the thing is, we talk about stuff, but somebody needs to be the planner, and none of us are good at that. But we have to. We just have to. So this is the little tuck spot that I made. This one's even tinier, but it holds a couple of those scripture cards. So I got a few of those made ahead of time. I'll stamp on this page. So I think it would be so awesome if we could go to Alexandria Bay or someplace else. I think it takes about 4 hours to get there. There are other places we could go. Lancaster isn't that far away. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I don't know if... I think my sisters would like it. I don't know if my brothers would be interested, but, there are lots of places we could go. Niagara Falls. I'd love to go there again. That's 4 or 5 hours away. I just need to find my little vellum crosses. My table is a mess, as usual. Here it is. Oh, that's the one that got torn too bad. Well, they're here. Oh, here they are. I found them. They came in this little pad. I think they're glassine, not vellum. Just have to tear them carefully. I wonder if I'll be able to finish the pages of these journals today. And then I can sew them together this evening. Today's Friday. And then I'd be able to put them in my shop on Monday. I have a surprise for you. Oh, you're going to already see it. I made a video making biscuits. I've talked about chicken and biscuits with you guys, and many of you were interested to see me make biscuits. I just thought everybody knew chicken and biscuits. It is a country dish, and I grew up on a farm, so anyway, I did a video making the butter. There are buttermilk biscuits, baking powder biscuits, and I think there are baking soda biscuits, which are flatter, not as puffy. I think I don't know for sure, but I think they're not as fluffy as baking powder biscuits. But I make baking powder biscuits. That's what I grew up with. My mom made them, and I had her recipe. And we would have them with biscuits, with chicken and gravy. And then we would eat the leftover biscuits, if there were any, with strawberries in season, crushed up and sweetened and put on the biscuits. I prefer now something a little sweeter for the base of my strawberry shortcake, but that was yummy growing up. There's a little cluster. I think I'll use this part of the page to put a pocket. And it will be a wide lace pocket. That's pretty. I'm going to have to thread a ribbon through that at the bottom and glue it to cardstock. So I'll probably edit some of that out. Those holes are pretty big, so this ribbon might fit. Nice yellow sheer ribbon. Yep, it fits very nicely. You really can't see the ribbon. Maybe I should put something different in there. All that work wasted. There, that looks pretty. I don't want the glue to show through the fabric, so I'm putting it on the parts that are where the thread is. And hopefully that'll be enough. I want to make sure the ribbon is glued there. Okay, now inside this pocket, I will put one of my vintage scripture cards. And a note paper. I know this is the bottom, but I like it to be at the top, that pretty part. I always put it at the top of the pocket. I'm just going to clip another one of these Bible story cards to this page. I'll reinforce this hymnal page off camera. Okay, here's the other pocket I'm going to make. So I just saw a reel on Facebook. Maybe it was on YouTube. I don't remember, but I saw a reel, and I don't know whose reel it was, but it was very quick, and she showed how to make a little pocket with a 6x6 paper. So I'm going to make one, and she used the same paper for both parts of it, but I'm going to make 2 packets, and I'll just, you'll see. So I'm going to cut them both at 3 inches. So essentially cutting the paper in half. And I'm going to use one of each of these papers for a pocket, 1 pocket. So this one I'm leaving alone. Wait, this one I'm leaving alone. This one is going to be the pocket. So I'm going to cut it to 4 inches. Wait, yeah, cut it to 4 inches. And then I'll get my scoreboard out. And cut it at, I think it was a 1/4 inch. I better make sure. I can't really tell because I already glued it down. Or 1/2 inch, I mean. 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch. Yeah, that will make this pocket 3 inches wide, which matches the card. And then turn it to the side and score it at about an 1/8 of an inch, or 1/4 of an inch, sorry. I'm sorry. So this is 4 inches by, how many inches? 3 by 4. And I'm scoring it at 1/2 inch on both sides, and then 1/4 of an inch on the bottom. And fold along your score lines. And then this will be folded like that, but to reduce the bulk here at the corners, just cut it to the corner where both lines meet, but angle it a bit. Like that. And fold it all up. Make sure your piece fits in there. Now she glued it to the top, but every library pocket that I've ever seen, these flaps glue around to the back, but it's a little bit of a tight fit. So I'm just going to snip a little bit off of that. That's great. And then I can put a Bible verse on the front of the pocket. So I want the glue to be on the white part because that's going to glue onto the back. So that's what I have these verses here for, ready to be used. What did I use on mine? This one. But I don't have it stamped in yellow. That'll work. And I like it with a backer, like a mat around it, behind it. I'm going to round the corners with my smaller corner rounder. And maybe a green piece to go with the leaves. Makes a pretty simple little pocket. You could decorate it any way you want to. You could have all kinds of fun decorating the front of this for any theme. I'm going to put another one of these cards in. Oh, look at that. This is the day the Lord has made. I'll put a different card in. The joy of the Lord is your strength. And then I'm going to add a pretty pastel tag. Well, let me see which color I like the best. Wonder if I should put a pink in because there's a pink verse on the front, and this might kind of tie it all in better. Yeah, we'll go with that. Sorry for my squeaky chair. It really drives me nuts sometimes. And this, for this, I'm going to just stamp right on the tag. I'm going to put a flower on here, so I want to make sure I position the stamp in the right place. This is where I will put the cathedral window. I still have to finish making that. I was thinking about putting this on instead, since I already have it made. I think I will. They don't all have to be the same. Maybe somebody would really want the cathedral window and wouldn't get it. A little bit more. I was thinking about making a side pocket for this side of the card. So I don't know if I will, but I could possibly make a cathedral window for this side, but for the other journals, make another one of these to put on that side. I don't know. Depends on how much I get accomplished. So I'm going to put another. I have a lot of these, so I can use a lot of them. Put another one of those in, and one of these appointment book pages. But I will let the glue dry. Casting all your care on him, for he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. I got ink on my thumb. I better wash it off before I smear it on things. Well, that is sealed shut, so I'm just going to slit the top and punch a hole there if I can fit something in there. Yep, I think it'll fit. No, it won't. Who knows what this is going to look like. Not too bad. I wonder if I have a little tag that will fit in there. Perfect. If I'm not going to leave the elastic on, but I can put a ribbon in there so you can pull it out. Get a couple of these out in case I need them for the other journals. And I get to stamp a verse on it. All right, let me see what I have here to put on the envelopes. Oh, that would be cute right inside the pocket. Did I already have this on here? No. Yep, thought I just saw it. The other ones are kind of big. I like this with God, all things are possible. I'd have to back that on something so it's not just yellow on yellow. So I think what I will do is use a little bit of black paper, like thin paper. Okay, if the view looks different, it's because I had to move my tripod to get this pad of paper out of the drawer. This is a dark gray. Most of the verses are horizontal. It's hard to find a vertical one. And I don't know what this one says. Oh, love the Lord your God with all your heart. I think that'll fit on there too. Perfect. Beautiful. I think I'm going to swap this one out for a blue one. Here is where we will add the little bit of ruffle with the book of the Bible on it. This one says Jonah. And then I'll just need to add a library pocket. And will this fit on here? Nope, it's a little too big. One more verse to stamp. By day the Lord directs his love. At night his song is with me. I'm going to let that dry before I cut it out. And that'll be glued onto there. And this journal is pretty much done. There might be, well, I'll have to, add the ribbons and stuff into the tags, but there might be other things to add. But for now, I'm done with it. So I will hopefully get to spend the rest of the day completing the other journals. I've got to go eat lunch now. I didn't realize how late it was. There's been a lot of work done in this one and some work done in this one and some work done in this one, but not much. So I still have quite a bit to do, but I'm very pleased with how these are turning out. And I hope that you are enjoying seeing these come together. Your next video on this project will be the final flip through. So that might not be till Tuesday, because I'll put this video on Monday. Yeah, so Tuesday I should have the final flip through and the Etsy stock of these. So I'll see you then. Have a creative day. Bye.